Right, good morning, Year 5. We're going to carry on with our series of the firework maker's daughter. If you remember from last time, a quick recap, we were introduced to the daughter Lila and her father Lal Chand, um, and how since she was a baby, she would hear and listen to her father's work in his workshop, and then she kind of grew to love his work as well, eventually kind of coming up with her own firework. And we find out that she's got a talent for it because they show it in a New Year festival, and it turns out to be a great success. But there's a problem. The problem is that Lao Chand and Lila have different ideas of what her future is going to be like. On the one hand, we've got Lila, who wants to, become a great firework maker just like her father. And then on the other hand, we've got Lao Chand, who's, sort of worried that his daughter won't become like a proper lady and marry into a really nice with a really nice husband. We've got that, and then we fast forward it a little bit, and we are introduced to a boy called where is he? Chulak, and he's in charge of the great white elephant that we find out can talk. And just where we left off was him being scolded by the elephant master for having all these sort of graffiti written on the elephant. Right. Every day this elephant comes home with graffiti all over him, shouted the elephant master. Why don't you stop people from doing it? I can't understand how it happens, master, said Chulak. Mind you, the traffic's awful. I've got to watch those rickshaw drivers like a hawk. I can't look out for graffiti artists as well. They just slap it up and run. Now, rickshaw drivers are old-fashioned, they're like carriages that you would lift up, and people would sit in them, and you would kind of like transport them. They're like an old-fashioned taxi, but you have to, you have to hold it and walk around with it yourself. But Chang loves Lotus Blossom, true. Must have taken a good 10 minutes on a step ladder. Yes, it's a mystery to me, master. Shall I clean it off? All of it. There's a job coming up in a day or two, and I want this animal clean. And with that, the elephant master stormed off, leaving Chulak and Lila with the elephant. Hello, Hamlet, said Lila. Hello, Lila, said the elephant. Look what this obnoxious brat has reduced me to. A walking billboard. Now that should tell us a little bit about how the elephant's feeling about the situation. Oh, stop fussing, said Chulak. Look, we've got 18 rupees already, and 10 annas from the tandoori house, and Chang gave me a whole rupee for letting me write on the top. We're nearly there, Hamlet. Oh, that's interesting. So it sounds like Chulak got money for what's happened to the elephant. And also, side question, rupees. Does anyone know what rupees are? 18 rupees, apparently. If you do know, you might have an idea of where the story is set. Oh, the shame, said Hamlet, shaking his great head. You mean you charge people money to write on him? Asked Lila. Of course, said Chulak. It's dead lucky to write your name on a white elephant. When we've got enough, we're going to run away. Trouble is, he's in love with a lady elephant at the zoo. You ought to see him blush when we went past, like a ton of strawberry ice cream. She's called Frangipani, said Hamlet mournfully. But she won't even look at me. And now there's another job coming up, another poor man to bankrupt. Oh, I hate Turkish delight. I detest silk sheets, and I loathe gold leaf on my tusks. I wish I was a normal grey elephant. That should tell us whether what we heard at the start about what elephants love is true or not. Interesting. No, you don't, said Chulak. We've got plans, Hamlet, remember? I'm teaching him to sing, Lila. We'll change his name to Luciano Elefanti, and the world will be our oyster. But why are you looking so sad, Lila? Said Hamlet, as Chulak began to scrub him down. My father won't tell me the final secret of firework making, said Lila. I've learned all there is to know about flyaway powder, and thunder greens, and scorpion oil, and spark repellent, and glimmer juice, and salts of shadow, but there's something else I need to know, and he won't tell me. Tricky, said Chulak. Shall I ask him for you? If he won't tell me, he certainly won't tell you, said Lila. He won't know he's doing it, said Chulak. Leave it to me. So that evening, after he'd settled Hamlet down for the night, Chulak called at the Firework-Maker's workshop. It lay down a little winding alley full of crackling smells and pungent noises between the fried prawn stall and the batik painters. He'd found Lal Chand in the courtyard under the warm stars, mixing up some red glow paste. Hello, Chulak, said Lal Chand. I hear the white elephant's going to be presented to Lord Parakeet tomorrow. How long do you think his money'll last? A week, I reckon, said Chulak. Though you never know. We might run away before then. I've nearly enough to get us to India. I thought I might take up firework making when we got there. Nice trade. Oh, that's another interesting information. It says I've nearly enough to get us to India. So there's a clue about where this is set. Certainly not India, but we know it might be close by. So again, a clue as to where this is set. Nice trade, my foot, said Lal Chand. Firework making is a sacred art. You need talent and dedication and the favor of the gods before you can even think about becoming a firework maker. The only thing you're dedicated to is idleness, you scamp. How did you become a firework maker then? I was apprenticed by my father, and then I had to be tested to see whether I had the 3 gifts. Oh, the 3 gifts, eh? Said Chulak, who had no idea what the 3 gifts were. Probably Lila did, he thought. And did you have them? Of course I did. And that's it. Sounds easy. I bet I could pass that test. I've got a lot more than 3 gifts. Pah, said Lal Chand. That's not all. Then came the most difficult and dangerous part of the whole apprenticeship. Every firework maker, and he lowered his voice and looked around to make sure no one was listening. So, what do you think's going on here? I'd say clever Chulak. Every firework maker has to travel to the grotto of Razvani, the fire fiend, in the heart of Mount Merapi, and Mount Merapi, and bring back some of the royal sulfur. That's the key ingredient that makes the finest firework. Without that, no one can be a true firework maker. Ah, said Chulak. Royal sulfur, you say? Mount Merapi. That's the volcano, isn't it? Yes, you pestilential boy, and already I've told you far more than I should. This is a secret. Do you understand? Of course, said Chulak, looking solemn. I can keep a secret. And Lal Chand had the uneasy feeling that he'd been tricked, though he couldn't imagine why. We're going to leave it there. That's the end of chapter 1, and so next time we'll be starting chapter 2.